Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very well.
Good.
So, your schedule's been so crazy. It's hard.
I've actually been pretty I've been running around like a complete crazy human, and I've been like shooting double shifts, and
Wow.
I'm pretty sleepless, and I don't know. I'm like zoning most of the time because I'm like, I finally have a day off.
Okay.
So I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm sorry that you have to spend your day off with us.
No, I'm happy to do that. I laughed so much when I saw that Antariksham teaser reaction. Oh my god, that was hilarious. It was great. I love how the music like slows down. It was so cute.
Have I been saying your name incorrectly?
You say Hydari, right? It's Aditi Rao Hydari.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna say Aditi. Hello, people. Sorry. No, it's okay. You're a professional. I'm an amateur. Here we go. Okay.
Please.
Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, and we are joined by ACHARA and Aditi. Apparently, I've been saying her name wrong.
Hey.
Aditi Rao Hydari.
Hydari.
Oh my god,
Hydari.
the third way.
Everyone
the third
gets it
way.
wrong. Don't worry about it. Everyone gets it wrong.
Okay. Firstly, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What did
Thank you.
What did you do for your birthday?
So like I told you, I've been working double shifts for the last 2 months. So I literally just said, I want to do nothing. I just want to stare at the ceiling. I know that doesn't sound like a very exciting birthday, but for me, it really was. Trust me, I did not want to party. I did not want to stay up. I didn't want to do shots.
Okay.
I only wanted to like dance.
Okay.
That's it. And just I.
Just as a heads up, sometimes the connection's going like haywire just a little bit. It's this poor network connection.
You do sound like you went on that space shuttle. So it is a bit
Blocky. That's making me very upset because that's.
And you guys have gone a little
Fuzzy.
hazy.
Damn you, Time Warner.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what internet. I don't know
Okay,
what
now
else to do.
I can kind of hear you. It's okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Go on.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better now. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I did. Okay, this is the elephant in the room, okay? Because recently, Priyanka Chopra got married to Nick Jonas.
Or engaged.
Or engaged. They're engaged to get married.
Yeah.
By the time this video comes out, they're probably married. And everyone's wondering about the possibility about Aditi getting matched up with an American, right? So I have somebody in mind. Very strong candidate.
Really?
And everyone's wondering about the possibility about Aditi getting matched up with an American, right? So I have somebody in mind. Very strong candidate.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Oh, great. Amazing.
Well, if not him, Tom Hardy's also probably available,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, is he?
But well, if he's too macho, there's another obvious choice. Someone who looks kind of Asian but is definitely white. And he has a program that's dedicated to, looking at other people's content. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Good one.
And then if you guys have a son, his name would be The Inception. Right? You can invite me to the wedding as the guy you throw out who's saying, I object! Which I totally would because it should be me. I'm here all week. So.
All night, every day. I have a question for you. So you're a triple threat, right? So you sing, you dance, and you act. So, how have all of these disciplines influenced you as a performer? Serious question.
It's your day off. It's your day off. You're like, God damn it, why did I agree to this?
I was like, throw me in the deep end.
Yeah.
I never really actually thought about it because I just grew up with a lot of art forms around me, and I grew up in a house that was very interested in the arts. So I'd never actually thought about it much because it was just so natural for me to be surrounded by music and dance and painting and sculptors and architects and a lot of artistic people and books and reading and stuff like that. And in fact, in my house, there was no television as a kid. My mom was like, go out, sing, dance, play, do anything, but don't sit in front of the television. I think it's only after I've become an actor and people have asked me this question is that when I've actually thought about it and been like, I'm sure it does have something to do with something. I never learned music, but my mom sings. So I think I inherited some decent genes from her. With dance, my teacher used to always say that you rehearse till you bleed, literally. And then when you come in front of your audience, you literally just flow. And there's no gimmicks, there's no cleverness, there's no technique. It's just bearing your heart and being vulnerable to the people out there. To the people who are watching you. Possibly because I heard that so much and that's the way I learned. That is something that's always stayed with me, and maybe that helps me a lot with my acting, because I feel like when you come in front of the camera, you can't cheat the camera, and the camera literally like goes into your soul and you can't mess around with that. And I think the best thing to do is just be vulnerable, which is maybe scary, but for me it's not scary, because when I was small, like when you're a teenager, you're like really conscious about doing poetry in dance, and especially because it's love poetry and it's very intimate and it's very like, woo, and everybody's like winking at each other and saying like, hey, you have to do it now. So my teacher did this really smart thing. She used to make us sit like this close to her, like this, like staring right into her eyes, like that close, and say, now do the piece. So all your walls just come crashing down and you are just so naked and so vulnerable that that camera then feels to me like that. And I feel really comfortable. So it's possibly that, I don't know, but that's... And I feel that, because acting is such a beautiful mix of all the art forms, that I just really, really comfortable on a set around all these artists who are creating this one thing. So I really, really enjoy that. I don't know if I answered the question, but that's
I think you answered like 17 questions, but it's okay.
You did. Yeah. And I have to say, like, the vulnerability thing definitely comes through in your performances. I think that's what I really enjoy about watching you.
I have one thing to say about vulnerability.
Yeah.
VC does not deserve you. We just watched Contra
Oh my God. We were so mad. We were so... I was like,
she does not deserve you.
I mean, I was glad because I was like, yay, it's a happy ending. But I was also like, what the hell? How did he redeem himself? She's too good for him.
You did such a good job of playing that like vulnerable innocence.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
I really think that was what the plan was. Like, Manisha did not want to redeem the hero. He just wanted him to be really flawed. And I really respect him a lot for doing that, because in a lot of movies, the hero is redeemed and he's made into a hero. He's like an awful creature, but then you make him heroic. But then Manisha didn't.
Okay.
So it was fair. Just... Yeah.
I have some rapid fire questions for you for this one. Okay.
I can't be rapid. It's really hard. Okay, but I'll try.
Okay. Hyderabad or Delhi?
Hyderabad or Delhi? Hyderabad.
Okay. Rickshaw or Uber?
I don't think I can take either. Uber.
Okay. Coke or thumbs up?
No, rickshaw. No, I'm saying that. Rickshaw.
Coke or thumbs up?
Coke.
Jollibee or gulab jamun?
Jalebi or gulab jamun? Neither. I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh my God. No. Okay. SRK or Salman Khan?
SRK. And it's his birthday today.
Okay. Nick Jonas or Jaby KOAY? I have a serious question. Did your this is super serious. Hey Jaby, ask her about the ongoing debate on nepotism in Bollywood.
Oh God. Okay. So,
this is super serious. So this is what we do. It's like a black and white film from the 20s. It's just like, it makes you cry, makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you laugh.
Okay, done.
Did your father's passing affect your career choices? When he passed away, did it affect your career choices at all?
No, not at all, because I didn't grow up with my father. I grew up with my mom and her side of the family. And he actually was very, very different from my mom's side of the family. And he possibly thought that I would be a tennis player, a doctor.
Okay.
I don't know, something like that. He was kind of understanding of my drama queenness. But I think he always asked me, like, what exactly is it that you do? I don't quite understand what you do on set. It was a bit like that with him. But he was quite accepting of it all. So in his passing away didn't affect my career choice, but it did. It was a hard time for me, because it just, I don't know, when you don't grow up with a particular parent and then they suddenly pass away, and he passed away very, very suddenly, and it's quite hard, and there's kind of so many things that are unsaid and unresolved, and you're young and it's like kind of difficult. But I think that somewhere from that time to now, it's kind of made me more comfortable with a lot of things. Like, I am very sensitive and I have been very protected, and I literally grew up believing that there are unicorns. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
So for me to be in the film industry, which is pretty much the wild, wild west, it is, the fact that I'm really happy and I sort of work the way that I want to means that I've probably sort of worked my head around it. And sometimes something terrible leads to something really like good for you. Like you kind of grow up, though I'm still 5 years old, but there is something that makes you sort of just, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Was there anything in particular? Because I lost my dad about the same time you lost your dad. And so that's why
okay.
that's why it was like a question I had to ask. And so following that, like, was there anything in particular that you did in order to move past it? Because imagine it was very difficult, like you said. I'm just wondering if there's anything that you did for yourself that kind of helped you focus and move past that.
I remember I was shooting a film at that time, and around the time that my father passed away and he was in the hospital and he had cancer, I was supposed to shoot my first cover. And I had a shoot. I was preparing for a bikini shot where I was to emerge out of a pool in a bikini. And it was the first time that I was doing this, and I was doing this for fun. I was like, my grandchildren can see this and be like, whoa, you look like that. So, and then this happens. And I remember the magazine called my manager, and they were like, let her be for a bit, we'll reschedule. And I called my manager and I was like, please don't reschedule. Please let me be on set. I just wanted to go to work. And I remember I went and did that magazine shoot. It was for Verve. It was the cover of Verve. And that was my first cover. And then a day or two later, I went and shot this bikini shot. And I was like, please don't change that date either. So I just worked. I did do one thing though, and it really helped me. And for a lot of people, this might sound odd, but I heard about a hypnotherapist. And and I was so like depleted at that point. And these were just the 2-3 days before I was meeting my mom. And I just went for a couple of sessions and it was amazing. And I feel like that helps you over time. You don't immediately see the result of that. And it's not like I'll do something and I'll see a result and I'll be fine. And then I'll go and like party. It's not like that. It like over time, it kind of heals you. So I feel that really helped me a lot.
Okay. So a friend of mine asked, her name is Namita Lad, and she asked, how come you're not in more Bollywood films?
You will really have to ask Bollywood this question. I don't know. I'm asked this question very often. I have no answer for it. Okay. Except for the fact that I work in a particular way. And for me, it's about the director and the content. So if I'm not getting that, then I'd rather not, just do it for the sake of doing it. So I just work wherever I get the best work to do. And for me, it's about working with the best directors. Yeah. So that's what I do. I'm happy. It's fine. I'm doing like fun work and I'm working with some of the most amazing people. So I'm happy. It doesn't matter what language it is.
So is that what draws you to a script? Like you want to work with specific people whose work you admire? Or is there something about, a character or a story that tends to draw you in?
First, it is the director. You'd see it more in Hollywood. Like there are so many big actors who do little walk-on parts because they just want to work with a particular director and they're not judged for it. In Bollywood and in the Indian film industry, quite often a question is asked, why did you do this part? It was that you don't need to do this. You can do a bigger film, whatever. Or you can do a bigger role. But I feel like more and more, all of us are making these choices and doing, just working with directors that we want to work with. And for me, it is really about the director because he or she is the captain of the ship. And if you have a really good director, then they have a good vision. Great directors make great cinema. And you can keep going back to that kind of cinema and it never becomes old. Like there's always something in it. Like Mani Sir is one of those directors. You can keep watching his films and you'll find something new and you'll find something that, sort of gets you thinking. And then it's the character. And of course, the script is very important. Director and script comes together. Mm-hmm. And then the character is the second thing that I look at. Like suppose in Chekka Chivantavanam, my character was much smaller and it was not like Katravelli Ray. And Manisa told me that himself. But for me, I just wanted to be a part of that film because I knew that film would be what it has become today. That is my decisions are as simple as that. It's the director.
So you were taught dancing by Leela Samson, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Now,
was.
there's a wide range of teachers out there when it comes to acting and dancing. There's like brutal and mean, and then fun, patient, understanding. When she taught you, was she more on the stern side, or was she more like on the understanding side? Like, was she mean?
She was actually, no, actually she wasn't. She's pretty cool and very chilled, and I'm very, very close to her. She's like a parent.
Okay.
I started when I was 5 years old, so I was really little, and so she's literally like another parent to me. She was very chilled out outside class. Like, we could practically tell her anything. Certain things we would probably even take a little time and then tell our parents, but with her it was just like put, and she would know. So all boyfriends went to Leela ka and they chilled out there, and it was all fine. In class, it was all about discipline, and like, I was the youngest in class of the performing group. I had to get to class before anybody else, be like completely worked out, sweating. She would always say, I want to see you sweat before you start rehearsal. So it was like that. And with me, I had to like be particularly sorted, because being the youngest, it was like a lot was expected out of me, and I had to match up to all the seniors. But I really, really thank her for that, because I'm never late to set. And a lot of directors and a lot of people on set keep saying, oh, we're so sorry, we're pushing you so hard. And I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. This is not pushing me hard.
I think you kind of went over this already, but I'm going to ask it again in case there's something that was not covered. Is there anything that she taught you that you apply to non-dance situations? Like you said, she's like a parent to you. Is there anything that you take that she's taught you, principles that you apply to like life in general or to other aspects of your, career?
The thing with art forms in India is that you're not just learning, and especially with good teachers, you're not just learning dance. You're learning life, literally. But again, I don't know. This won't come to me.
If it suddenly emerges in your brain later, you can always like just start shouting it.
She always used to say to me, so after a show, the thing with dance is that, especially Indian classical dance, is that you're very dressed up. Like, there's a lot of beautiful jewelry and then those eyes. And she used to always say to me, Adu, like I'm called Adu. And she used to say, Adu, if anybody comes backstage and says, oh, you're looking so pretty, I'm going to spank you. Because she would always say, your dancing should take over. People can't be thinking about how pretty you look. It's about your dancing. So they should talk about your dancing first. I really, really value that, because it kind of made me understand that, especially because I'm in a very visual medium, is that the way that I look has actually nothing to do with me. It's some lucky genes. It's the people who think I look the way that I do. It really has nothing to do with me. What I have any kind of control over is the kind of work I put in to be that artist. And that art form, whatever it is that you do, is much bigger than you are. And that is something I kind of imbibed. I wouldn't say I learned, because she never really said it in words, but I did imbibe that from her. And that helps a lot, because quite often actors think they're God's gift to mankind, but like, really, we are not. And there are so many people that make that film together. There is that art form that is much, much, much bigger than you are.
Right.
So that is something I think I imbibed from just being around her.
We met up with a friend earlier today, and we told her that we were going to interview you. And she goes, did you know that she's a princess? I go,
See, can you see the blue blood? Can you see it? It's blue.
I'm like,
it's blue.
everyone keeps saying this, but like, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to say with that? Like, what do you say? Like, how? There's no questions.
Your Highness.
Yeah, hello, Your Royal Highness. Your Grace.
Like, well, the question I want to ask regarding it is, are you tired of being asked questions about that?
I understand why people are into this question. I totally get it. That doesn't define me or who I am. That is something that is a part of where I have been born.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything for it. I feel that what I'm an active participant of, which is what I'm trying to do in terms of my career or the person that I am, I feel like possibly that is more important than where I was born. That was just given to me.
Yeah.
But I will say that I do have a really amazing family, and
There's people back there.
that's my manager.
Okay. She's all blocky. I can't see her anyway. she just looks like Lego sets right now.
I do have an incredible family, and I think it's because of them that I think this way, which is that I pretty much learned by example, which is that what you make of yourself is more important than what is given to you. And they are a very educated and very liberal lot of people. and they're quite amazing, very principled and very sort of expansive in every way. So, and it's because of them that I work in the film industry. Like a lot of families do think 85 times about letting their kids enter into the film industry. It was like, you want to do it, and we trust you, and I've never misused that trust. So it's been good.
I'm just gonna look at the fan questions real quick. This comes from SR Kinetic.
SRK.
Kinetic,
yeah.
like Fanatic. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Ask her who's the one.
Any SRK, I'm very happy to reply to.
From Arpan Bhattacharya, he asks, will we see Jaby KOAY in a movie with you? I was wondering the same thing. Who is the one actor director that she would want to work with? Like, who is the one actor you'd want to work with and one director that you would want to work with that you haven't yet?
I really, really like Ranbir Kapoor.
Okay.
He's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
He's a fan. Like, he's just so incredible. A director that I haven't worked with, there are two of them. I'd love to work with Anurag Basu and Vishal Bhardwaj.
Not Anurag Kashyap?
Him too. You said one. I said two. Can I say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No.
We can do 12. Ask her about her next movie.
Antariksham.
Well, I didn't want to say it awfully in front of her, so it's like...
So I did it. I took one for the team.
I don't know what I can tell you about Antariksham. I think that they need to put out the information as and when they do. But I can tell you this, that it was really, really difficult shooting that film. And you know what? I don't know how you guys do it, because you don't know anything about the film, or you don't know the language, you're just reading some subtitles, but you pretty much get it right every time. And I've seen that on a lot of your reactions that I'm seeing of late. It's like Antariksham, they actually had a model. It was not CGI. It was a model. There were real switches, etc., etc. And we were doing a lot of wire work. So it wasn't that other thing that you said, whatever it was. But can you imagine, we were basically harnessed for 55 or 50 days, every single day from morning to evening. So after that, I became like this. I was like really skinny and really exhausted. But it was also a lot of fun because I learned to do somersaults and backflips and float and do all kinds of things on the wire. So after a while, I was like really comfortable in that harness and on the wire. And I was like, put me back on, like now.
Will we see you as an action star at any point in the near future?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would love to. It's just that I'm really tiny, and like a lot of people. No, it's true. Because everyone thinks I'm really tall. And then when they see me, they're like, you're so... This is the first thing they say, you're so tiny. And I'm like, can I like biff you? But
that's what they say to ACHARA also. Just kidding.
Yeah?
No, it's the opposite. Everyone looks at me and they're like, you don't look that tall. And then they see me in real life and they're like, you're big. I'm like, yeah.
It's one of my dream things to do, like a Indian style Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because it's got like everything. It's got this epic romance, it's got that beautiful action, and it's almost like dance, that action. So, and I've done a bit of Kalari, so I've always wanted to do something like that. Kalari is a martial art form from Kerala. I would love to do something like that, but no one's coming with any great script on
I'll come to India for Bollywood specifically.
Jaby.
She worked in multiple film industries, so you can probably ask her about her experience working in different film industries. Overall vibe, co-actors, what's it like working with renowned directors such as Ronnie Rao? Okay, so let's start with that. Like, what's the difference for you with Bollywood and the other industries? Like,
Telugu,
Tamil. Are there differences?
The way that you work is determined by the director, especially if the director is strong and has a vision. So it's not been like hugely different, except for the pace and the time that you start. Like on Manisha's sets or Dhanush, for example, like your first shot happens at like 7 a.m. So many people ask me this question. And again, my understanding of it is that cinema is basically, you're telling a story and you're making an audience feel. And that really doesn't have language or religion or boundaries. Whatever language it is that you're working in, it's really about feelings, which is why I say it's the director and the story and what you're doing in the film. But for me, when I work in a different language, because I don't know Tamil and Telugu, I just have to work 10 times harder because I like to come on set knowing my dialogue backwards, literally. Like on Manisha's set, they always say, I think we've forgotten that you're not a Tamilian, because they say, start, and I go, and I can say all my dialogue. That's how I've been working till now. That's the only difference. It just requires a lot of prep in terms of mugging from me, but otherwise there's no difference.
After Padmavat, when that whole, I guess it was during the making of it too, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the movie. What was going through your head? Like, what were you, like, how did you deal with all that?
I think it just made me really sad because, and it made me very upset because Sanjay Leela Bhansali is an artist and he's such a credible artist and he's somebody whose intention is so clean in terms of he eats, breathes, lives cinema. And he just wants to tell his story. There is no underlying sort of crookedness, nothing. It's just clean. So he's an artist. And I'm like, how can you curb an artist's right to freedom of expression? I think that made me really upset. And I was like, how can you not trust this man? He just wants to tell you a story. And it's a story that, whatever. I don't want to say something that will again get everybody hyper. But I feel like everybody has, I just wish that people would be sensitive for the right reasons, like priorities. Yeah. There are so many terrible things happening in our country, and we then lash out at this person who is really somebody we should be proud of. He's somebody who loves Indianness, and he really tells stories so beautifully, keeping that Indianness alive. He's not going and shooting in America or Spain or telling stories about not usually telling contemporary stories usually. And he really knows Indian art, craft, dance, music, whatever. So we should be proud of this gentleman. So he's really a great director. And instead we literally put him through every trial by fire. And I thought that was just really unfair. Let him create. That's what he's here to do.
Well, on that note, what was it like working with him, especially compared with Mani Ratnam?
This is another question I've answered a lot. Really? I have an answer ready for you.
Okay.
Which is that with Mani sir, it's like you're sprinting. Mani sir, you're sprinting and he's sprinting ahead of you. And you're trying to keep up. Mm-hmm. And with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, you're running a marathon. That's a distinct difference in the styles of working. And I feel like with Mani sir, it's microeconomics, where everything, literally there's drama in the breath of the actors. He comes that close. I mean, it's that intimate in many ways. Mm-hmm. And Mani sir deals a lot with metaphor and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers that you can keep digging into. And with Sanjay sir, it's really about, it's like macroeconomics, where you're every single thing in that scene is dramatic and adding to the drama of the characters. They are very different and they have very different ways of making a film. But in many ways, they're so similar in their passion for cinema. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really saw on set. When you work with Mani sir and Sanjay sir, the world outside is, you just shut it out on your own. They don't do it for you. You just shut it out on your own, because on that set, there's no PR, there's no photographs, digital media, this, that, jumping, there's none of that. It's just that close-knit group and you're creating something. And that journey is pretty incredible. It's really, really amazing.
What are your weirdest and best fan encounters?
Well, the thing is, I always tell myself I should write this down because I can never remember. I can't even remember compliments. People say such nice things to me and it's I feel really happy for that moment and then I've forgotten it. And it's really bad. I don't know what to do.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah. But the ones that I like the most, I'll tell you, are the ones that I can convert. So there was this person who tweeted to me, I hated you. But now that I know more about you and I've been following you, I love you. I like those people. Okay. I really like those people. Because I'm all for, like I said, I'm all about unicorns and rainbows. And I'm like, if you can convert a hater into somebody who's I like that. I really enjoy that. And I feel like, if generally we can all do that, it would be just a happier world out there. So I'm all for that. That makes me really happy.
From Arpan Bhattacharya, he asks, will we see Jaby KOAY in a movie with you? I was wondering the same thing.
Come on, Jaby, start learning Hindi, Tamil, Telugu.
Okay.
Then I'll come to LA or wherever. Where do you all live?
LA.
LA, yes.
LA. Yeah. Best. I'll come there.
Yes,
okay,
come.
Perfect.
Come, we'll do a short film.
That's so much easier.
It'll be an action short film. Jaby will teach you stunts. It'll be fun.
I know martial arts.
You do?
Yeah. Oh my
What?
gosh, you haven't seen anything. I have to show you. I'll send you. See, all these joke questions will become more serious once you see my martial arts stuff.
Really? Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll send it
How
to you.
cool.
Um,
Okay.
So a lot of people ask this question. I know you probably get asked this a lot. I think we have a connection stronger than my Wi-Fi. I mean, my Wi-Fi is kind of terrible, so it's not entirely that difficult to achieve, but still.
Okay, that.
What was the experience working with Amitabh Bachchan like in Wazir?
It was amazing. Like, who wouldn't want to work with him? He's incredible and he's iconic. Everybody knows all that about him, but what I found really amazing about him is that he's just so excited to come to set every day. He really finds his work exciting. And I think that's very, very admirable and very infectious. That kind of energy is very infectious. He's so sophisticated and like he has so much knowledge of the of poetry and language and art and like everything. So it's just like really amazing. He's an incredible person. I mean, but I'm saying something that everybody knows. He's been working for many, many years. So to see that childlike quality alive is very cool. That's what I found incredible.
What can I do to have hair like you?
Oh my God. At the moment, I just got fired up by the person who does my hair and said, "What have you been doing?" Because it's just in such a mess. Because I've been out in the sun, working double shifts. I'm not a superhuman. So at the moment, it's a mess. Sorry. But I guess it's okay. It's not so bad.
I completely disagree with
Yeah,
you.
no, it looks good to me.
But no, I do take care of it. And to answer their question, I do look after my skin as actually much more than I look after my hair. And I use a lot of natural stuff, like Indian natural stuff, all from the kitchen.
Oh.
And you if you walk into my house, like in the morning, you'll find my smoothie on my face. It's pretty normal to have a purple face in the morning.
I feel like I need to try those. Yes.
You had a question.
So you have amazing skin, I have to say.
Oh, thank you. It's all makeup. Thinking Yadav. It's been 12 years in the movies. After so many films, how does it feel to finally talk to Jaby KOAY? Do you finally feel
You're
that you
the
have
star.
arrived?
First of all, you're the star here. This question, you're the star of this question. I think you should, Tara, you should completely start saying, "Excuse me, what about me?"
No one cares.
No, but I want to tell this person. So, it is true that I did my first film, I think, in 2007. But I always say that I actually started and I professionally started in 2010 or 11. Because before that, I wasn't an actor. I was dancing and studying, and my mother had told me, "I'm not letting you go till you finish your basic education." So I would say not 12 years. I would say more like, what is it? 8 years?
Like 8 years?
7 or 8 years, yeah.
8 years.
There's a bunch of Asians here can't do math.
Yes, I can't for sure. And I have no sense of time.
Hey, Jaby, ask her about the ongoing debate on nepotism in Bollywood, as she comes from a non-filmy background.
Oh God. Okay. So it's actually fairly simple. The thing is, I look at it very, very simply. If you come from a family of people who are in film business, obviously it is going to be that much easier for you to have access to your own people. It's fairly normal, and that's so for any, like, if you have a garment business and then you want to join that business, it's going to be easier for you to do it than for XYZ, your neighbor. So I think, it's a very unfair thing to constantly go on about this. But I do feel that after your first couple of chances that you get, because you know your people and most of them are your relatives, etc. And of course, they're going to love you more than they love
A stranger.
XYZ. I feel that that's fairly normal. But after the first couple of chances, then it should be all about talent and nothing else. And we're not just talking nepotism. We're also talking other things like violation, power play, harassment, sexual favors, etc., etc. All that is a big no-no. So what's a no-no is a no-no. It's as simple as that. But I feel what is natural shouldn't be like, people shouldn't make such a big thing out of it. It is very natural. Yeah. So I honestly, I prefer to look at the positives of any situation. And I feel like for me personally, I feel very blessed to be working in an industry that I love so much with people that I like so much. And I've made that choice. if I'm uncomfortable in a situation or I feel that people are going to, harass me, I just say no. Like recently also, I was offered a film and some people on that film I knew would be problematic. And I was like, I'd rather not do it. And I'd rather work with people who I love and people who will protect me and give me the space to be the artist that I want to be. Because as an artist, you just want to be a child and explore and have people around you who let you do that, That's the kind of environment I like to work in. It's a really simple nepotism and all of the other stuff. I just look at the positive side of it and say, thank you, God. I'm doing good work with good people.
So what do you do for fun when you're not acting or in between scenes?
Talk to you guys. I try and run off somewhere for like a quick holiday, or I go back home to family, or I hang out with cousins or like close friends. I dance, as you know. I do a lot of yoga. I'm attempting to go on this detox mission because Diwali is around the corner and I'm like, if I stay here, I will eat a lot of sweets.
Oh.
So I want to run away and do some hectic detox. I also love, like, you can take me on a beach and make me play, catch and cook. I don't know if you guys play that.
What is that?
It's like a game that 5-year-olds play where you basically one person catches other people. So you can take me to the beach and make me play that and I'll be game to do that. Like I love like running around. I love playing there are these Indian games called 7 Tiles and all. I love doing all that. Give me some free time and I want to jump around and do shit like
Jaivarya Nushin asks, and I was kind of curious about this myself, what was the experience of working with Sanjay Dutt like for his comeback movie in Booming? We just watched the trailer earlier today, again. He has this weight to him, this presence that's just like, it's big. What was that like being part of his comeback and how does he stack up, especially compared against like Sanju?
the film, right? Like what we show in the film. Sanjay sir played a character called Munna Bhai. Have you seen Munna Bhai?
Yeah, he's seen it.
So he's pretty much like that.
Okay.
He looks very imposing, and I remember the first time that I met him, I was very, very quiet, and I was almost a little intimidated. But there seemed to be this very sort of, I will look after everybody kind of vibe about him, which made me very comfortable. And I remember he sort of called me and he said, you don't have to be afraid of me. And he gave me a big hug. And that hug was literally like the Munna Bhai hug, which is called the Jadoo Ki Jappi. He's a lot of fun, actually. And he's always like doing something on set. Like he's creating his own little film on the side. He's writing a little script and making his team perform it. So there's never a dull moment when he's on set. He's very protective. If anybody like tries to mess with you, he'll be like, get out, leave immediately. And he just has to come and stand there and that person runs. So he's really cool like that. And he has this thing of wanting to feed everyone. So he figured that I'm from Hyderabad and I like certain kinds of food. So he was literally feeding me every third day. I was hoping I would not get like cheeks like that. But it was great. He's a lot of fun to work with. And you realize why he is who he is and why people love him so much, because he's just all heart. You're right about what you say about him. He's this imposing personality where I remember doing a scene with him where he's in a crowd. But literally you can see those eyes through that crowd and you can feel what those eyes are feeling. I found that really amazing about him.
Well, you had a question earlier that you wanted to ask. No, there's a question you just wanted to ask about like...
Okay, yeah, my potentially stupid question.
She has a dumb question she wants to ask.
It's kind of dumb because like, I mean, obviously you lucked out in the genetic lottery, right? Because like you're extremely beautiful. I was just wondering, like, do you think that's had an impact on the roles that you've been offered, either positively or negatively?
So that's not a dumb question at all. I mean,
see, I said it. I told you it wasn't dumb.
Maybe it has, because there is a tendency to put people into a box, and it's very comfortable when all those boxes are ticked, and you're like, okay, this person is this. I keep trying to push it and keep trying to do different things, though I'm very comfortable with the way I am and with the way I look. So when I first started, everybody had this thing. So everybody gives you advice, right? So everybody would be like, you're too sweet, you're too cute, you're too innocent, you're too whatever. You should be more sexy. Blah. And of course, all that plays on you. And then you're like, okay, maybe I should do something. But then I feel like as you learn and as you get more comfortable with yourself, you're like, okay, look, this is who I am. And I'm very, very comfortable being who I am. And then when I come on set, I play these different characters, but I will only do it in the way that I know.
Yeah.
As in, it has to have a part of me also in it. However different that character is from me, it is still me playing that character. So my memory, my genetic, my everything is going to be added into that, and that's the only way that that character that I play will sit easy on me, and that you will believe that I'm this character, right? So often I've been told you're too pretty for this part, and I'm just like, what? Really?
How about now?
Seriously. I mean, or once I was actually told by a talent agency that you do too many things. You have too many talents. We don't know what to do with you. So there are these really amazing things that you hear. And I remember going home and crying about this because I was new and whatever. And I thought I was doing something wrong by doing all these things. Till you realize that it's too bad for them.
Yeah.
I'll just do what I need to do. And so that's how I deal with it. I don't let it weigh heavy on me. To answer your question, I just try and basically go with the flow. And I don't take anything too seriously. Like, I don't take it as a burden. It shouldn't be a burden. And I feel like if the way that I look became a burden for me, I would be insanely unattractive. I don't like to be conscious of these things, so I just don't bother about it.
So there's a lot of new Indian content coming out on Netflix. For a while now, there's been a lot of Indian content on YouTube. Do you have any plans or potential things that could come up where you're working like on a series on YouTube or in a Netflix show or a movie?
There have been a couple of shows that have come to me, but because I was busy doing work and I had already signed up for work, I couldn't ditch them and run away and do this. So I didn't do it, but I feel like it's just opening up now, and there will be more, and I will get more opportunities. But sorry, I'm getting my
That's okay.
ginger water.
I was waving.
For me, it's not so much the medium as it is the director. If I want to work with the director, I'll do it.
Will it always be acting, or have you thought about writing and directing at any point?
I cannot imagine myself behind the camera. I think I'm too much of a drama queen, and I really enjoy being in front of the camera. I cannot be behind the camera, but I've not thought about it. Just now. This is what it is for me, and I pretty much go with the flow. So I have so much admiration for like writers, editors, directors, DOPs. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. Just put me in front of the camera and let me do my drama, please. Don't make me do anything else.
I had a question from a longtime supporter of the channel. It seems like we seem to have a hard time distinguishing between Tamil and Telugu, like film, cinema, and he's like, no, it's different. Ask Aditi. Let her tell you what is the difference between Tamil and Telugu industry.
I've only done like 2 films in Tamil and 2 in Telugu.
That's a lot of experience, though. That's a lot of experience.
That's more than
That's 100% more than we've done combined.
I think you've watched more than I have. So I've somehow become this poster child for answering this question, multiple industry question, which I quite enjoy actually. I don't know what the difference is because the directors have, like I told you, it's really about the directors. I feel a set is determined by the captain of the ship, the director, or the producer, right? And they determine how that set will work, including the positivity on that set or the fun on that set or whatever it is. Recently, I worked with a very, very, very famous actor, a big star actually in the Tamil industry, and a fantastic artist, Dhanush. I'm sure. Have you seen Vada Chennai?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dhanush. Yeah, right. So I recently worked with him on his second directorial. That set was so much fun. That was the set on which we were doing double shifts. Okay. Now imagine you're doing double shifts. You're an actor, so your vanity is very important to you. You're working in a different language, and like I wasn't supposed to wear makeup on the film, so which is why I'm saying vanity, because like I had to come onto set and look pristine without any makeup, and then I'm not sleeping. Then I have dialogues which are in a language that I don't know. It's a full unit of people who are new to me. Can you imagine that we were laughing sort of up to monkey antics? I don't know what we were doing on that set, and we were having so much fun. There was not one day where anybody was in a bad mood, anybody was like wanting to kill someone. And that happens, right? When you're working like crazy people, you do want to kill a couple of people. Not one day did I feel like that. So, which is why I say like a lot has to do with the director and the producer and just the people on set. And I really don't think it has anything to do with language. I'm telling you my most recent experience. And I can say that most of the people I've worked with, whether it's Mani sir or Sanjay sir or even the other Telugu film I did, Sammohanam with Mohan sir, they were all like that. They were really happy monkey sets. At least I felt like a happy monkey on those sets. And I was like, just keep me here. I can just keep doing this like 24/7.
So I think we've covered like all the fan questions and all
Yeah,
like, all the major
pretty
questions.
much,
So
yeah.
now this is what I call my bonus round, where
Oh.
I'm gonna ask you a bunch of goofy questions, and you have to rate them like on a scale of 1 to 5.
I have to rate your question.
Yes, because you'll understand in a second.
Okay.
So this is like you have to imagine like Jaby's coming up to you, like for the you haven't seen like any of the, like my reactions to your stuff. Like I'm just this bro on set, and I come up to you, right? So we don't know each other, and I'm asking you these, right?
Okay.
So I go,
It's
ready?
like acting.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Are you feeling all right? I think you're suffering from a lack of vitamin me.
God. 0.
0.
Didn't
No,
work.
it's 1 to 5. That's the
Oh,
game.
it's 1 to 5.
Yeah.
What? It's 1 or 5. What?
1, 2, 3, or 5. The scale. 1,
Or
2,
4.
or 4.
Why can't I say 0? Okay, 1.
Okay.
1, 1.
Okay. Ready? Next one. Your feet must be hurting because you've been running through my mind all day long.
Okay, that's that's a 2.
That's a
Slightly better.
but it's making you
Oh,
giggle,
that's
so
better.
it's like it's a little
Yeah.
bit. It's
Okay, but it's still a 2.
okay.
Come on.
Okay. If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
Okay, that's a 1 again. That's too cheesy.
Do you believe in love at first sight? Or should I walk by again?
Okay, that's good.
That's
Okay, that's a good one. That's cute. 3.
3. Okay.
I think we have a connection stronger than my Wi-Fi. I mean, my Wi-Fi is kind of terrible, so it's not entirely that difficult to achieve, but still.
Okay, that's
I like that it's making
Okay,
you
that was-
giggle. See, like that's the
okay.
thing.
That was the least cheesy one
It was very
because it was honest.
okay.
Wi-Fi questions.
Okay, I might have to say it again before the conversation's over. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9, and I'm the one that you need.
Okay. Ouch. Okay. 3. I'm being kind.
Okay. All right. Was that an earthquake, or did you just rock my world?
I'm gonna give you 4 for just acting that.
Okay.
Because actually something was happening there. Okay. 4. You need to be doing a
I gave you
Jyoti.
support as
gave you
well.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I wear all the time for my shoots, just for my YouTube videos, just so you know.
No, you don't.
Yeah, this is my regular outfit.
Yeah.
I'm not dressing up special. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for like coming back after your like important meeting thing.
Yeah.
And taking a script.
And I promised you, so.
No, really, really appreciate it, and everybody loves you. Everyone was so excited that we could do this.
Yeah.
So, the one thing that a number of people were saying was like how awesome it is that you're so down to earth.
Yeah.
And how much they appreciate that, and I want to extend that and say how much we appreciate that you're so down to earth and so honest and kind and positive.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again either when we come to India or when you come to LA and work
Yeah.
and we do something.
Done.
Okay.
Done.
Yay.
Cool. All right. Take care. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Whoa, Jaby.
That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a whole thing.
Still wearing headphones.
Yes. Oh yes. Okay.
Oh, loosen that tie.
I'm just really happy that she enjoyed the questions at the end. That turned out to be way more fun than I was like. I was so scared about the questions. Anyway, let's just wrap this up. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you're still here at this point, then you say hashtag Aditi Jaby in 2019. How about that?
Lovely.
You know, Aditi Jaby 2019 and Nick Jonas Priyanka got nothing on these two. That's the hashtag.
The whole thing?
The whole thing, yes.
Okay, that's super long.
You got a better one? You always have a better one.
Jaditi.
Oh boy, that's actually great. Hashtag Jaditi. There you go. See, I knew you'd come up with a better one. Hashtag Jaditi. Jaditi Rao Hydari KOAY.
Okay.
Or just a GTT. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. You all have been awesome. And Aditi, thank you again.
Yes.
You were awesome. Thank you.
Super cool.
You were very, very cool. All right, you guys. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA.
Peace out.